Welcome to Learn Computer Technology. Learning Outcomes. Understanding of Azure DevOps. Installation of add-on or extensions in Azure DevOps. Working with Azure Git Repo. Creation of ASP.NET project in Visual Studio. Creation of Azure ARM template project in Visual Studio. Creation of Azure DevOps pipeline. Creation of Azure DevOps release. Deploy infrastructure in Azure Cloud through Azure DevOps. What are Azure DevOps extensions? Extensions are add-ons we can use to customize and extend our DevOps experience with Azure DevOps. They're written with standard technologies like HTML, JavaScript, CSS. These extensions are developed using preferred development tools. These extensions files and assets get bundled to make a Team Extension Service Package (VSIX) file that's published to the Visual Studio Marketplace. From the marketplace, extensions can be installed directly by users. How to install extensions in Azure DevOps. Extensions are simple add-ons that can be used to customize and extend our experience with Azure DevOps. The marketplace is home to hundreds of extensions that can be installed to help with the following tasks: planning and tracking of work items, sprints, scrums, and so on. Pipelines, build and release flows. Code testing and tracking. Collaboration among team members. In the Azure DevOps Marketplace, we can do the following tasks: discover and install extensions for Azure DevOps, Visual Studio, and Visual Studio Code. Register Visual Studio Dev Essentials subscriptions. In Marketplace, most extensions are available for free to use. We can easily add extensions to our organization by simply following these steps. Sign in to our organization, https://dev.azure.com/ourorganization. Note: our organization name is As Cloud's Home. It may differ as you give your organization name. Select gear icon organization settings. Select extensions, and then browse Marketplace. Search extension replace token to install. Note: we will use this extension in our pipeline. Click on it. Then click Get It Free. Select our organization and click Install. Then click to proceed to organization. Check in organization settings replace token extension is installed. What is Azure Repository? Azure Repos is a set of version control tools that we can use to manage our code. It uses Git, an open-source version control system used for source code management in software development. Git is not specific to Azure DevOps, a set of collaborative software development tools. In fact, it's used by many platforms that provide source control hosting as a service, like GitHub, GitLab, AWS CodeCommit, Bitbucket, etc. Steps to create Azure Repo. Navigate to the Repos page in our project. From the Repo drop-down, select New Repository. In the Create a New Repository dialog, verify that Git is the repo type and enter a name for our new repo. I made repository by name Web App Project _CICD. We can also add a README and create a gitignore for the type of code we plan to manage in the repo. When we're happy with the repo name and choices, select Create. A new empty Git repo is now created in our project. Steps to clone the Azure Git repo to our computer. To work with a Git repo, we clone it to our computer. Cloning a repo creates a complete local copy of the Azure Git repo for us to work with it. Cloning also downloads all commits and branches in the repo and sets up a named relationship with the repo on the server. Use this relationship to interact with the existing repo, pushing and pulling changes to share code with our team. Select Clone in the upper right corner of the Files window and copy the clone URL. Open the Git command window, Git bash on Git for Windows. Run git clone followed by the path copied from the clone URL in the previous section, as shown in the following example. Git clone https://azcloudshome@dev.azure.com/azy/web-app/underscore git/webapp project_cicd. Browse to the folder where we want the code from the repo stored on our computer. What is Microsoft Visual Studio? Microsoft Visual Studio is an integrated development environment from Microsoft. It is used to develop computer programs, as well as websites, web apps, web services and mobile apps. It includes a code editor that supports syntax highlighting and code completion using IntelliSense for variables, functions, methods, loops, and LINQ queries. We are using Visual Studio Community Edition for this project, which is free to use. The alternative of this is Atom IDE, Visual Studio Code, Eclipse and NetBeans. Steps to create a ASP.NET Core Web App project. Let's open Visual Studio 2019. Select Create New Project. Search ASP.NET Core Web Application. Click Next. Location Desktop Web App Project _CICD folder. This is our Git clone folder. Check Play Solution in same directory. Give project name Web App. Click Next. Select Target.NET Core 3.1 Long-Term Support. Authentication type None. Checked. Configure for HTTPS. Click Create. It will create our ASP.NET project. Open default index file in project and change the content to Welcome to ASP.NET with ARM template and CI/CD production. Click on IIS Express button to check that our project is running locally. Right-click on Project Solution and select Add New Project. Search Azure and select Azure Resource Group, then click Next. This module will appears on your Visual Studio only when you have installed Azure package to your Visual Studio installation. Give project name Azure Web App, leave all as default. Click Create. Select Azure Template window. Select Blank Template, then click OK. The project will be created. Open Azure Deploy.json. Right-click on Resources on JSON Outline window and click Add Resources. Select Web App and create New App Service Plan, Server Farms. Assign a same name, Web App. An ARM template will be added to your project. Delete Variables section and change parameter at 2 places, where these variables are called in ARM template JSON. Open Azure Deploy.parameters.json file and create 2 variables. #webapp hash and #sku name hash. Right-click on Azure Web App Project, and click Build to build this project. Working with the code. In this step, we'll make a change to the files on our computer, commit the changes locally, push the commit up to the repo on the server, and also view these changes there. Switch our directory to the repository that we have cloned. Use command cd web app project _cicd. Keep this command window open, because we'll use it in the following steps. Run command ls to list files of folder. Run command git status to get the status of Git. Run command git add dot to add all files to the Git. Commit our changes by using the following command in the Git command window. Git commit -m double quotes initial commit double quotes. Push our changes up to the Git repo by entering the following command into the Git command window. Git push. Switch back to the web portal and select files to see that all codes have been pushed to Azure Git Repo. Search for Azure deploy.json file in Azure Repo. Then check Azure deploy.parameters.json. These are same as our files in Visual Studio. Move to Web App folder and search for index file. It is also same as our index file in Visual Studio. What is Azure DevOps Pipeline? Azure Pipeline is a cloud service that we can use to build and test our code project automatically. The Azure Pipeline has a lot of capabilities such as continuous integration and continuous delivery to regularly and consistently test and builds our code and ship to any target. This can be categorized as build pipeline and release pipeline. It can also be said as pipeline, or build pipeline, represents CI, continuous integration, in Azure DevOps. Release represents CD, continuous delivery, in Azure DevOps. Pipeline usually takes code, builds it, tests and creates an artifact. Release takes the artifact and releases, deploys it to the target. Steps to create Azure New Pipeline. Click Pipeline. Create Pipeline. Select our code repo, Azure Repos Git. Select repo, Web App Project _CICD, in our case. It will be different as you give your repo name. Configure our pipeline. Select ASP.NET Core.NET Framework. It will add pipeline for review. Delete task, vs test number 2, because we don't need test task in this pipeline. Copy $build.artifact staging directory, because we need this to create and add another tasks. Click on Show Assistance. Search, copy, and select Copy Files. Target folder $build.artifact staging directory. Paste previously copied path. Contents Azure deploy *.json, refer from Visual Studio. Source folder Azure Web App, refer from Visual Studio. Click cursor at the end of the YAML file window. Then, click Add button so that code will be added at the end of the YAML file. Search again, Publish Build, then select Publish Build Artifacts. Path to publish. $build.artifact staging directory. Artifact name. Drop. Artifact publish location. Azure pipeline. Click cursor at the end of the YAML file window. Then, click Add button so that code will be added at the end of the YAML file. Click Drop down, Save, and Run button. Click Save. Leave all as default and again click Save. Click Run pipeline. Leave all as default and again click Run. Click on Job. The running job window will open. Oops, here we got an error. I tried 4 times but not succeeded. Reason: first pipeline is failed due to Microsoft Agent Machine is not provided to new Azure DevOps accounts. You need to apply using form provided by Microsoft to get Microsoft Agent for running parallel jobs. Microsoft gives 1800 minutes free for running pipeline jobs for private projects. I applied for it and got approval in 3 business days. Let's run pipeline again by reviewing our pipeline YAML code. Click Run pipeline. Leave all default and again click Run. Click on Job. The running job window will open. Here we can view logs of running jobs. Finally, I got the build success result. Click on Artifact link. From job logs it will open Artifact drop folder and its content. Next, we will create release pipeline. Create Azure DevOps release. Steps to create release pipeline. Click on Release. Click on New pipeline. Select a template. Azure App Service Deployment, click Apply. Stage name, Dev. Click Close. Add an artifact. Select Build, automatically filled by Azure DevOps. Project. Web Apps. Source. Web App Project _CICD. Default version. Latest. Source alias. _Web App Project _CICD. Click Add. Click on Dev Task Link. Azure Subscription. Select your subscription, Azure Trail. App type. Web app on Windows. Click on Variable link. Create variable name. Web app. Value. Web app-dev 1, 2, 3. Create variable name. SKU name, value, F1. App service name. $web app. This is called from above defined variables. Data on deploy Azure App Service task is automatically filled as we filled dev task. Click on plus button to add another task. Search ARM. Select ARM template deployment, resource group scope. Move this to above. Deploy Azure App Service task. Deployment scope. Subscription. Azure Resource Manager connection. Azure subscription. Location. East US. Template location. Select Azure deploy.json. Template parameters. Select Azure deploy.parameter.json. Deployment mode. Incremental. Leave remaining as default. Now, we are done with this task. Click Save. Click again on plus button to add another task. Search Replace Token. Select Replace Token add-on. We have installed this extension previously. Move this task above ARM template deployment. If you don't find this extension in your DevOps, please install it. Display name. Replace token in **config pre-filled. Root directory. Click on 3 dots, then navigate to drop folder, then click OK. Target files. Azure deploy.parameters.json. File encoding. Auto. Token pattern. Click drop down, select custom. Token prefix. Modify hash. Opening curly brace to hash, because we have use only hash in our variable which is to replace. Token suffix. Modify closing curly brace, hash to hash, because we have use only hash in our variable which is to replace. Click Save. Click Create Release. Click Create. Click on Release 1 link, it will open Release Task Log. Release task is running. Our release task has failed. Let's find the issue. There is a problem in ARM template deployment subscription scope task. Let's correct it. Change variable. Web app value to web app dev 1, 2, 3. Deployment scope. Here, select resource group, instead of subscription, we have selected previously. Azure Resource Manager connection. Azure Trail. Subscription. Azure Cloud subscription. Resource group. $Web app. Location, East US. Click Save. Click on Pipeline tab. Click Redeploy. Click Deploy. Click on Queued. Click on View Logs. Watch logs of release. Our task runs successfully. Let's view the infrastructure deployed in Azure Cloud through Azure DevOps. In all resources link we found Web App Dev 123 App Service and Web App Dev 123 App Service Plan. Click on Web App Dev 123 App Service. On Overview page, copy the public URL link. Browse this link in any browser. Our project is released as we can browse it using browser. Let's break this project as staging and development release pipeline in Azure DevOps. Steps to create stage. Click Release. Click Edit. Click Clone. Stage name. Stage. Click on Lighting button. Pre-deployment. 2. Select manual only. Move. 2. Variable tab. Name. SKU name, value. F1. Scope. Change, release. 2. Dev. Name. Web app. Value. Web app dev 1, 2, 3. Scope. Change, release. 2. Dev. Name. SKU name, value. F1. Scope. Change, release. 2. Stage. Name. Web app. Value. Web app stage 1, 2, 3. Scope. Change, release. 2. Stage. Click Save. Click Create Release. Click on Dev 2, send it to Manual category. Click Create. Click on Release to link. Click Deploy. Click on Queued. Click on View Logs. Watch Logs of Release. Our task runs successfully. Browse this link in any browser. Let's view the staging and development infrastructure deployed in Azure Cloud through Azure DevOps. In All Resources link we also found Web App Stage 123 App Service and Web App Stage 123 App Service Plan. Our project is released as staging so we can browse it through browser. Our project is also released as development because we have changed first release to development. Hope you have learned and understand the topic. Please like, share, subscribe and express your views and comment for our motivation. Thanks for watching.